I don't know. Apparently, I've been on this file for a minute and 45 seconds. But it's 0 bolts with the wrench out and 10 ammo, so that's all it needs to be. No need to have 0 on the in-game time. Just looks kind of funny. Well, that's a problem. I can do that between planets. Hmm. I was about to jump too early. No, give me these. 1,000 volts here is perfect. That's what I like to see. Where am I going? Oh yeah. See, now I do want these because I only have 7 ammo. Definitely on purpose that one time. Like I'm going really slow with these side flips, but that's alright. We're making it. We're making it over. Holy smokes, that is some cashola. Even with all that cash, I was about to instinctively shoot a bomb at that guy. No, there's no need. I think I have very little speed, but I don't know. When you have very little but non-zero speed there, it does look kind of funny when you get to the top of the elevator and you move like 2 inches. this is more like it. Basically, that first guy, I want him to only fire once. If he fires a second time, it's because I'm not close enough to him yet. And that's when I end up like taking extra damage and ledge grabbing and being slow. Ask your big brother for help. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, my brother and I, we were both playing Ratchet, we were both playing Jack, but I definitely had more of an affinity for this game, and he was more into Jack for sure. What's going on, by the way, Boba Fett? Nice to have you here. Oh no, I'm not wearing it anymore. I switched to my my Captain Quark shirt. Yeah, we'll grab these. Probably don't need them, but it's fine. All right, can we get the all gold run? That would be fun. Give me 1 sec. Dang PS3 with your fast loading times. Oh. Excuse me, sir. Are you well? There you go. No, please. Okay, good. All right. Unfortunately, we're gonna have to wait until the end of this planet because I'm speedrunning. But Boba Fett, I have something to show you. Come on. Oh, didn't I say I was never gonna do this again? No, really? Come on. Oh, please. I definitely should have grabbed that health. I actually have enough ammo now. Alright, hold on. Let me get this, because I want that health. You've never watched a Ratchet speedrun before? I mean, it does go pretty crazy. You're in for a treat. So the category I'm running right now is all missions, which means obviously I'm beating the final boss at the end of it. But along the way, I'm getting every check mark on every single mission in the game. So for example, I could just get the info bot for Rilgar right now, but that wouldn't give me the mission for going through the warship. Right? In order to get that mission, you actually have to press this button. And in the meantime, I get to show you what the t-shirt that I was wearing today, which is Boba Fett. How much money? I feel like I need these. And now, actually, I'm totally fine on money. Alright, I saw your name and I'm like, oh, wait a minute, am I not wearing that today? Oh, no, I forgot I switched into this. Yeah, so just to show you, I've got like all the missions checked off for that planet now. All right, so you're in for a treat here because here's what we can do on this planet. Let me wait for the cycle here. Oh, I messed up. It's okay. I don't know. We need to get this. It looks incredibly goofy. And it lets us skip this entire level. Oh, please. Why am I messing up? Uh-oh. Okay, we're good. So that skips the entire thing. I don't actually have the hoverboard, but it's okay because we can clip out of bounds. And here's the track. And there's the hoverboard right there that you can pick up immediately and just do the race. All right, it took us a few attempts there to get the cineflips, but we're on there, so it's fine. We still need 100 bolts because I need the 4,000, so I need 3,000 by the end of here. Might need to go out of my way for a little bit of extra money here. Or, you know what? You know what I should have done was just blown up the stack of crates right next to where I went out of bounds. Or, I don't know, I think I might be fine. I might actually be totally fine. I am not, so I'm gonna get these guys right here. And perfect. Perfect. And my ammo's good. I don't need to worry about this too much. I don't know if this is going to get me back to my ship. It did. I'm not really sure how the checkpoint works here to get back to the ship, if I'm honest. Oh, look at that. Still save time. Still save time because in these splits, I definitely didn't do cineflips. Looks good. Excellent. Again, I'm breaking these for the health more than the money. Because I want to have as much health as possible going into the Snaggle Beast fight. Oh lord. I don't know why I get those. There's really no need. I don't need the ammo, I don't need the money. I'm gonna skip those from now on. Yes, just keep turning. Keep turning. The more you turn, the less you attack me, which means I can, you know, survive, basically. Ooh. I don't mind taking damage there. That's, like, taking damage there is honestly in part so that I can, like, get to the Snaggle Beast faster. Start damaging him sooner. But what I should have done, though, is instead of getting the health like over there, I should have gotten the 2 there, and then once I take damage again, or if I take damage again, that's when I can go and get that extra health, and just, you know, we'd be chilling. Okay, camera. Oh, please. Alright, that was a good fight. That was a very good fight. Is that sub 3? Maybe? Very close, anyway. Alright, so here I can just go straight on. Ledge grab, please. Yes, thank you. Looks like the game has no collision. So on Umbrus, right at the start, I don't know if you noticed, I took damage from one of those mines after I fell into the mud. And basically what that did is that normally when you touch the mud, like Ratchet dips his big toe into the mud, and he will immediately die. But by taking damage from one of the mines, um, the Ratchet taking damage animation actually like pulled me out of the mud and onto a tree root, and it saved me from death. And it put me into a state that we call Ghost Ratchet. And when you're under Ghost Ratchet, you can jump through walls. So that was very much intentional, removing Ratchet's collision so I could go through the rest of the planet faster. Well. All right. Now here, I'm gonna reload the game because I've already done like the main mission on this planet, and so when I reload or if I revisit, like the game is gonna count this as me revisiting the planet. And when you do a revisit, there's an intentional mechanic where like the first boxes that you break or something. So first of all, oh no, that's not good. Actually, well, it's fine. I can just go again. Yeah, so I'm gonna kill a guy, and now the game is in this state where like boxes are gonna give me way too much money. So if I carefully break these boxes, you can see now I have nearly 10,000 bolts, which is many more bolts than the game intends you to get from those crates. There we go. I do have the grind boots, um, but it's faster to go around here, kind of out of bounds, rather than going through the whole grind boot section. Like Danny Phantom, is that Danny Phantom's power? He'll like go through walls, I guess. I mean, I realize the whole point is like he's a ghost. Anyway, so at this point, I don't want to go on the rail because Ratchet would die. Like, you don't have enough speed to make it all the way to the platform. A camera, could you cooperate with me, please? Right. So instead, I gotta go up here, hop onto the rail farther up, so now I'll have enough speed to actually make it all the way to the platform. And doing that whole sequence is faster than going through the whole grind rail section. Lovely. All right, let's see if I can actually get this clip. It's not difficult. It's not difficult. I'm just really bad at it. So you go towards this tree, jam the camera up against this box, get Clank so that you can barely not see this like dark part on his back, and then you jump through the tree. And then you get into this spot right around here. If there you go, right around here in the pipes. Get into position, and then you just punch, and it launches him in the air, and you skip the entire level. So rather than spending 6 minutes collecting gadgebots to open doors, you just do that. Much simpler. And you can go get the boots as well if you want. And that is all of Orkson, at least as Clank. I'll be back as Ratchet for more, for a couple of more missions anyway. Okay, my money's really good, so I'm just gonna... Oh, never mind. Well, might as well get these while I'm down here. Oh, no, this is bad. Let me kill a guy. Right. So, the other thing that Ghost Ratchet does, or not Ghost Ratchet, Jankpot, is that once you get all that extra money from the crates, subsequent crates that you break are just going to give you 1 bolt each until you actually go and kill another enemy. So all those crates there that I blew up at the start only gave me 1 bolt each, so I just wasted time getting them, basically. And that's why I made sure to kill an enemy before going on. Normally it's not an issue, because normally once you skip the Clank section, it's like one of the crabs. Let me pull this out. It's one of the crabs that kills you, and while he's chomping at you, he also happens to kill a frog, and that's all you need. But I guess one of the frogs didn't die after doing the Clank out of bounds. So. Okay, dude. Holy smokes. Alright, we get to use... Well, I guess I only get to use it once here. But it's a free 50 bolts. I don't know if my money is good, though. How much money do I need again? Yeah, I'm still at the stage with this route where I'm just kind of going for it and taking a quick note of how much money I have at various stages. And then, you know, after a few days, after I get a few runs under my belt, let's just do this. Yeah, after I get a few more runs under my belt. Oh, that was... Did you guys see? For like a few frames, my bolt count was at exactly 10,000. Anyway, after I get a few more runs under my belt, I'll be able to get a better intuition for how much money I need at different stages. Alright, we can clip into the shop early. Get the thruster pack. We still need to wait for the guy to reach the end so that we actually get the mission and everything. But... Oh, please don't. Oh, that was almost a disaster. I couldn't avoid him. I saw him coming in and I'm like I can avoid you, but it means that I wouldn't be shooting the things that I have to shoot, so it wouldn't actually be helpful to avoid him. And we'll get this guy. beauty. Lovely pokey there. All right, so we're going, now that we have the O2 max, we can go back to Orxon, so we can do a couple of missions as Ratchet. Now, I do not have the swing shot, so on this mud, what we can do is tiptoes. So I'm basically mashing X and keeping the stick neutral. And there's a small window where the game just lets you jump as you're gliding onto the goop. And then we'll do a little corner cut here to save a few seconds. Another little corner cut here to save a couple seconds. And that's all of Orxon, basically. Like the difficult bit. The part that I needed to, many tries in all my casual playthroughs as a kid. Oh, you know what I should be doing is getting the heli pack instead of the thruster pack. But it's fine though. We got a woohoo! Guys, this run is blessed. We can get the heli pack out now. Why not? I gotta change the gold here. It still doesn't make much sense. Because that was actually a pretty good... Like, it wasn't like the greatest of all time or anything, but that was actually a pretty good Orxon. There's no way my gold is gonna beat that by 30 seconds, or 20 seconds or whatever it is. Whoops. Let's be careful here. Right, so the trigger to get into this turret, it doesn't check your height. It only checks your like X and Y coordinates, not your Z coordinate. So you can enter from the bottom. Again, skipping the entire level. Come on, there we go. And then we do more of these things to get into here. Pick up a little bit of money while we're at it, why not? I've got right around the same amount of money as I did last run, if not a little bit more, which was fine, I think, last run, so we should be fine this run as well. Oh, that's fine. We'll just death abuse here. Not death abuse, but like just die and try again. That was a little silly. All right. And now we'll go back to Pokey because there's one more mission that we have to do there. I think this is a good run. Like, these splits that I'm running against are kind of bogus and have nothing to do with my actual PB. But I think this is a good run. I mean, it says -2.5, so it can't be that bad. Anyway, we go down here just to activate the mission, but going through it this way is long and boring, and I don't have all the gadgets that I would need. So instead, we just come down here, and we get Ratchet to find the hole, which is right around here. Oh, there we go. And now we're under the level. And we just swim to the end. There's Fred. Trade the Raritanium. Get the Persuader. And now we can go to Gemlick. I think what I'll probably do is whenever I get like a PB according to these splits, I'll just remove all the golds and call those my golds and kind of restart. Anyway, there are very few levels that we actually play. So here's another one where we can do a proxy here to kind of get halfway into the level, and then we can do another proxy here to skip to the very end of the level. And you'd be a fool to think that we're actually gonna fight Captain Quark. No, we can, you know, come over here, and when we die, the game just considers us having beaten him. You thought I was gonna do that whole boss fight? No chance. We hardly even play against the final boss, to be honest. Anyway, Ultanis, again, it's all a bunch of like long combat and platforming sections. See, now I'm the fool for having missed that. Like, that's not actually difficult. I'm just distracting myself here. So we do that proxy to get out of bounds. We can make our way up here somewhere. Another proxy, and like basically just clip the corner of the checkpoint so that we can get right here and, you know, talk to Steve. And now that we have the PDA, we can infinite jump, because the PDA is completely busted in this game. Oh Lord, let me, like, I just missed. Don't worry about me. There we go. But yeah, the PDA lets you infinite jump in this game in various ways. I guess two main ways, and then you just do variations on that. Yeah, we can clip through here, skip. So like we're skipping every part of this level, you know. Oh, okay. What? I was trying to skip that cutscene, but the fact that the cutscene plays does mean that you have all the missions, so I guess there's confirmation on that. Oh, and I do want this money as well. I just went to Quartu by mistake. That's actually a problem. That's actually a big problem. I'm not supposed to go to Quartu right now. I think it'll be faster just to eat the time loss here and just get back into the ship. Yeah, I don't want to go to Quartu there because I don't have the swing shot yet, and the swing shot is going to be very important on Quartu. So unfortunately, losing a lot of time on that one. Oh well, it happens. So now we get the Pyro at a discount. And you'll see in the final boss that the pyro is actually the most busted weapon in this, at least this version of the game. But we buy it now just because it's useful against the sand sharks. Alright, so this is actually the only weapon that I'm going to buy in the whole game. Aside from this, the bomb glove does everything you need. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay, now we can do some more ILJs to cut across the whole map. Trade the Zoomerator that we got earlier for the oh, again I'm messing up the. That's all right though. Yeah, you can see how much we're abusing the PDA though. Whoop. That's fine. That's fine because we can just PDA side flip. And then do this version of infinite jumps. There are so many different ways of infinite jumping in this game, it's kind of nuts. Death abuse just to get back here on our way to the ship. Oh. Please. Alright, that's fine. Now over to Kerwan. Yeah, what happened to this minus 2.5 minutes? I lost, I realize I lost, I don't know how much time. It's something like 30 seconds or close to 30 seconds on Ultanis because I had to do the reload. Or like, not the reload, but I had to get back into the ship. Whoa, 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 whoa. Wasn't able to get a mid-air there. It's fine. Alright, so I skipped the getting this. Oh Christ, I need to pay attention to my money, dude. Thank goodness. I skipped getting the swing shot earlier just because money is tight in the early game and I didn't really need it. All the way to Core 2 now. There we go. But now that I have the PDA and enough money, I can go back and do that. And that's the last thing I have to buy for the whole game. So we can do some PDA side flips to get out of bounds. Oh, careful. Skip to the end of the level, as is tradition. Now the reason the swing shot was so important was for this right here. Because again, I'm going to get Ghost Ratchet. I'm going to save myself from the goop by pulling myself out with the swing shot. And I didn't mention this before, but the other thing that Ghost Ratchet does is it removes your speed cap. So you can just absolutely fly across the level at insane speeds. That would not have been possible without the swing shot, because I wouldn't have had any way of getting Ghost Ratchet. This is Ghost Clank now, which is why I was able to go through that wall. Oh, come on. There we go. We look down to reduce lag. But there is still a fair bit of it. Ooh, I don't think this is going to get the last go. Oh, it did. Good. Come on. There we go. I think this guy to my right, I don't actually have to kill. Maybe I will anyway. I don't know, man. I don't really understand these helicopters. Frankly, this is a badly designed level, where like the whole point is that you're fighting mechs, and then once all the mechs are dead, for some reason you have to kill a bunch of helicopters. Like, okay. So we still have Ghost Ratchet, so I can go through that wall. And I can keep building up speed with no speed cap. Ah, shoot. And then I can just go through this wall. Pick up the bolt grabber from out of bounds. Death abuse to respawn back at the ship. And move on to the next level. So that was quite good. Here's another one with a lot of out of bounds. We can get out of bounds here. There's two things we got to do on this planet. We need to get the, what's it called? The code bot. Ugh, that was gross. There's just a hole in the ceiling here that you can drop through. So there's one mission. And I don't know if you remember this casually, where like you're teleporting between the ships, and there's a whole, not trespasser, but hollow guys section. You know, we ain't got time for all that, if I'm honest. We got the PDA. So let's not pull out the metal detector. And people who are better at this game than I am, they can do a nice movement chain to just like launch themselves halfway across the map. I'm not quite at that level. But we can still do some PDA tech to make our way over here. There's a hole in the wall here, so we can go right to the end of the last ship. We don't actually like playing this game, right? We just want to skip everything. Couple of missions on Kalibo. Some of the missions are trivial, where you just have to like, you know, get to a spot. I do have to do the hoverboard race on this one, but it shouldn't be too bad. Let's try this. Right, I don't know why I lost all my speed there. Yeah. Oh. You may already know about the hole at the top of this. I know when I was playing this game as a kid, I would use the Visibomb to, like, I would shoot a Visibomb through the hole. Anyway, we get some skips going on this race, as you can see. I go into the tunnel there and die just because there's a checkpoint that I need to hit in order to count the lap. But we die at a few areas just to skip some parts of the lap, and it'll still count it for us. So we're doing just fine. Oh, see, I don't think I went far enough into the tunnel, so let me just go through there again, just in case. Okay, just about at the end of this. Get out of here. Test bot. And on the last lap, you can aim roughly here and hopefully, yeah, go over the finish line before going into the water. Just save a few seconds by not having to respawn. Now there is a mission for going through the whole grind rail section. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna start grinding, but also pull out the hollow guys there to basically get myself off the rail. Because once again, I probably didn't need to pack switch there. It's fine. We can just do some out of bounds movement, and this ends up being many times faster than going through the whole grind rail section. Even though we could, like, I've got the grind boots, but there's just no need. There's just no need. So that's all the missions done here, and then reloading the game is just the fastest way to get back to our ship from here. There's only one mission on Veldin, and that's just, you know, beat the final boss, basically. And it never actually gets checked, because, like, technically it would get checked when you kill the boss. Alright, got a nice little long jump SI, much better than I usually do. Alright, so this is the platform where you would fight Drek as Giant Clank. But we're not going to spawn him in yet. We're actually going to go straight to the final platform and spawn Drek in there. I've got 100 ammo with the pyro, which should be all I need. I can buy some extra later if I want, just because I have the PDA. Yeah, using the PDA to infinite jump and just make our way to the end of the level here. There are some death planes out this way that you have to be a little careful avoiding, but it's really not too bad. Mostly you don't want to get too low, because the death plane for, like, falling off here is actually quite low. Why did I do that? There we go. So the pyro. On the PAL PS3 version in particular, if you're right up in someone's hitbox, you deal damage on every single frame. So you're able to absolutely demolish his health bar. And that's the entire boss fight. So you don't actually fight him for very long. So not only is that a PB according to these fake splits, That's a real PB. My PB before this was a 55:21. But I don't want to get too excited because I have to check. I have to check whether I have all the missions. So like I said, this one never gets checked because once you time warp, it's as if you didn't beat the boss, so you haven't done the mission yet. And if you don't time warp, you just go to the first level, well then you're in the next playthrough, so you definitely haven't beaten the final boss. So I just got to make sure that I've got the yellow text here telling me that all the missions are complete. And that's a real PB. Nice.